Now loading Anorak's OASIS.
Welcome to Anorak's OASIS. I'm your host, Jeff, aka Mysterio Hunter.
This is Jack, aka Dracoburn.
And this is Tiff, aka Evil Mech Meru.
Welcome, Geekites and Gunthers. This is Jeff, your host, one of your many, I guess, and this is Anorak's OASIS. So we want to talk a little bit about 8-bit, and there's supposed to be a huge showing this week. Tiffany, you know something about this.
Yeah, and it's actually going to be a week from this Thursday, which will be the 25th, and it looks like Star Trek: The Next Generation, the Best of Both Worlds two-parter episode has been fully restored into a full-length feature film, and yeah, it will be playing at the Cinemark on Powers, and it's going to be hosted by 8-Bit Video Game Bar. So it's going to be 7 p.m. I think the doors open at 6, and tickets are $10, which you can get at the box office.
Cool. And so what else is going to happen during this showing?
Well, there's going to be some fun stuff going on. There's going to be Trekkie trivia, so where you can, win prizes for, answering trivia questions, and a costume contest hosted by yours truly.
Sweet. Nice.
Yeah, so
another way to come and talk to us and check us out. I'll be there as well.
Definitely. And so, yeah, put on your Trek costumes and brush up on your trivia and come out and win some cool prizes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
And there's also a chance that we will have some gaming going on there as well. I'm not 100% yet. It hasn't been confirmed, but there is rumors.
Yes, I've heard rumors, but nothing definite, so.
Nothing in stone. No 10 commandments on the stones here.
Yeah, but definitely, yeah. I'd love to see people come down just to see this, this amazing two-part episode put into a feature film is going to be awesome.
Absolutely. And we are fresh off from a con, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Yes. What con are we fresh off from? We're not going to go into it too much because you're going to hear about it in Cost Talk. Yeah. But we are fresh off from the Colorado Toy and Comic Con. And it was sort of, kind of... What is the name of that?
The Colorado Springs Comic and Toy Con.
There we go. Mine sounded really professional.
It did.
I would have gone with that one.
You like Comic Con made it sound like fancy.
All right. Well, let's get into the circuits and diodes.
This is C&D, Circuits and Diodes.
First up, Windows Blue has been renamed to Windows 8.1, so apparently they are going back to the numbers and decided the colors weren't working. Which, the funny thing is, Blue has already been leaked, and you can actually download it from certain sites, which I have not done yet. I kind of like to grab it up professional-like, I suppose you could say.
Right.
But apparently they're kind of pushing people into, getting rid of the desktop altogether and just staying with the chimes and the other links. Have you guys seen anything on this?
I haven't. I haven't heard anything.
I don't know if there's
Neither have I.
I don't know if you guys noticed that this week they put in the Windows 8 store is Nokia's music player, which really, if you look at it, looks a lot like the old school Zune. Yeah, Nokia Music is what it's called.
Really?
And I mean, this is getting huge reviews. A lot of people are really big on this. I'm going to check it out. I already got it downloaded, actually. I just haven't tried it yet.
No?
Nope. But sounds cool, so we'll see. And I think they're going to lean a little bit more toward Pandora style, which also, if you haven't heard, Pandora has been released on the Windows 8 phone, I believe, which that will, it's all free too, which is really cool.
That is pretty sweet.
Jump on and play to your heart's desire, I guess. That's exciting. I mean, new content coming over to Windows is really cool, and I'm excited to hear that. we also have heard rumors there is a new Microsoft Surface out. And it's actually been out for a little while, but it's only in China. It's called the Microsoft Surface Pro China Edition. And apparently it's pretty much just the Surface Pro with Office on it. Or the Home and Student, Office Home and Student on it. And
Nothing too fancy or different.
It's like it's like $100 less, I think.
Huh.
Yeah, that's really it. I don't have a whole lot to say about that. I haven't had a chance to check it out or anything. It sounds like it's pretty much the same thing. Have you guys heard any information on the Ouya?
I read a little bit about it on the Kickstarter page.
Yeah, the Ouya, apparently the people who have backed it on Kickstarter is it's shipping out to them. So they get the little preview to it. The Ouya, I believe, runs off from what was it? It was the Android marketplace. So you'll be able to play a lot of the Android market stuff on it. It also is going to be very much dev friendly, if you will.
Yeah.
So
that's what it looked like when I read up.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. It's going to be like a open source, really big.
And that could come up with some pretty interesting types of games.
It says all games free to play. What exactly does that entail? I'm curious about that.
Yeah, does that mean like you pay to download it and have it on there and then you can play it, or?
Are you paying a monthly content fee and then basically just getting whatever you want to download for free at that point?
That would make sense.
It says we're handing the reins over to the developer with only one condition. Only one condition. At least some gameplay has to be free. We borrowed the free-to-play model from games like League of Legends, Team Fortress 2, Triple Crown, and many others. Developers can offer a free demo with a full game upgrade, in-game items or powers, or ask you to subscribe. Interesting.
That will be interesting.
Now, rumor has it that this is coming out at $99. Is this something you guys are going to be looking at?
It sounds kind of cool. I mean, I'd be interested to see, really how it would all work. How the free to play and exactly what that would all entail. And
I mean, for $99, you're not going to lose much.
yeah, I mean, really.
But if they have no games that you want to play,
Yeah.
then $99 is...
They're saying they're going to be coming out with AAA games. Ouya can change AAA game development too. Forget about licensing fees, retail fees, and publishing fees, is what they're saying.
Well, then that would be definitely interesting. If their games are good, then I would definitely be interested in this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really curious.
It looks uber small, and all you have to do is carry it to a TV, and...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We're looking at, these are the specifications. It has the Tegra 3 quad-core processor, 1 gigabyte of RAM, which that's lacking a bit in my opinion, 8 gigabytes of internal flash storage. That's not much either.
No.
Yeah.
But
HDMI, I'm sorry, go ahead, Jack.
It looks like it might have USB ports, though, so you might be able to expand that somehow.
Yeah, I saw a picture of this, of the back of it.
Oh, it does say USB 2.0. It has
Does it? Okay. Which 2.0 is kind of outdated as well. It's got a HDMI connection to a TV with support for 1080p HD, Wi-Fi 802.11, the BG and N. It's got Bluetooth LE 4.0, USB 2.0. It's only got one of them, it says. Wireless controller with standard controls, 2 analog sticks, D-pad, 8 action buttons, and a system button, a touchpad, and it runs on Android 4.0. It also has an Ethernet in it as well.
I mean, it's got to be something that people are looking forward to because of its, it had a goal of $950,000 and they raised $8.5 million. That's
it also
insane.
It looks like it has so you can watch Twitch TV on it as well, which right now is really big. I'm kind of curious. I might pick this up. I'm kind of curious about it.
You be the guinea pig. You pick it up and tell us if it's good.
Well, we might wait a little bit and see how it goes, but I'm kind of liking the idea that everything is so cheap on it.
Yeah.
It'd be nice to see it set up somewhere where at least you can demo it, like at one
Absolutely.
of the game stores. Try it out.
And it's got to be only a matter of time. And maybe if it's not out by E3, they'll have it at E3.
True.
Yeah, that would be cool.
And if that is the case, then I will play it and let you know then. Yeah, it's incredibly small. I mean, it's literally like fit in the palm of your hand small.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Which, I mean, I guess if you consider that it's that small, then it has like that 1 gig of RAM and that type of thing in it, then that's not so bad. It looks like it's very much set up in the Steam style in terms of the desktop.
But it looks like it's a lot of mobile games from any games that I'm seeing.
I can't imagine it's gonna be too high-end games, despite what they say, due to the fact of what it has in the system.
I don't think they could be.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, it'll be fun to have somebody else in the mix, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we have information on Adam Orth again, as you all heard on our last podcast, which I hope you all listened to. If not, shame on you. Shame. But Adam Orth is gone. He's no longer working for Microsoft.
Woo!
And there has been rumors of this. IGN actually called them. IGN is another podcast. No, I'm sorry, it wasn't IGN. It was Game Informer. Game Informer actually called and said, hey, can we talk to Adam Orth? Dispatcher said, all right, I'll connect you. Give me a moment. And after a few minutes, they're like, it doesn't seem like Adam Orth works for us any longer. So that is our confirmation. Here's my question. Go ahead, Tiffany.
I was just going to say, it's not undeserved at all, so...
Oh, no, he deserves it. I'm glad he's gone.
And that changes my opinion now on whether that was a contrived thing that they tried to do. I think it's funny that this guy high on the food chain there said what he said, and then now he's getting his just desserts. Yep.
I mean, you gotta be kidding me, man. You don't know Skype is public. I don't understand. But good job, Microsoft, getting rid of him. It's a step up.
Yep.
And also, Microsoft has bumped back their big reveal of the new Microsoft gaming system, whether it be the VNext, the Next, the 720, whatever you want to call it, the Durango. They haven't revealed it in April. In fact, they've said they're bumping it back to May. Now, here's my question: is the reason for this being that they actually had always on the system, and because of this outrage over Adam Orth and everything going on, they decided to take it out?
It sure seems that way.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. That's a high possibility.
And if that is the case, then major kudos for listening to the public and doing, what's right. And obviously none of this is confirmed. This is our speculation, but we will let you know as soon as we know. As soon as we know anything, which I'm sure everyone will know at that point. But nonetheless, we're gonna get that information to you as quickly as we can. Do you guys have any more information on this?
I don't.
Circuits and diodes is lacking today. I apologize.
Yes, it is.
There's also more rumors about other companies coming out with phablets, is what they call them, which is a phone-tablet mix.
I laugh every time you say it.
I do too. It's hilarious. I love it. I don't even know what to say about that. But nonetheless, they're saying that other companies are actually signing on to this now, and we may see it sooner than we thought we would.
So what they're saying is a phablet is a smartphone with a screen size ranging between 5 and 6.9 inches.
Right. So an extra large phone or an extra small tablet.
Which one do you want to go with?
Well, depends on the price side. If the price side is low, I'd rather think about I'm paying a lower price for a tablet.
Yeah.
If it's higher, I don't even know.
It seems like, though, you can get they're all about the
one.
same price, though, honestly.
Yeah, and I think they're going to try to get into this whole area of tech before Apple gets theirs in, because Apple has said they're going to try to get in the Apple Mini, the iPad Mini, iPad Mini, yeah. So they're going to try to get that in, and now everyone's jumping on that. Also, something I wanted to talk about, which kind of fits into circuits and diodes, and I was listening to the TWIP podcast, which is actually a Windows podcast with Paul Thurrott and Mary Jo Fuller. And they were saying that the funny thing is that everyone's upset about the Windows 8. And they said Windows 8 is actually, granted it's not really meant for a system that does not have touchscreen. But they said it's a good system. The downside to it is the fact that it's before its time. And the funny thing is that for how many years now have we said, well, Microsoft is so far behind the tech side of things, and they just don't understand. And now that they've actually done something innovative, done something ahead of the curve, everyone's mad because they did something different.
Right. And that's funny, because there's been a lot of, if you look at a lot of systems that were ahead of their time, I'll say the Commodore 64 was a little ahead of its time, because it was one of the first 64-bit home gaming systems that you had out there, and
absolutely,
and it didn't do well. It did well for a little bit, and then it disappeared.
And so here's the question: if they'd have just gone and not done this what do they call it, the blades, and they just left it the desktop, would people have said, well, they kept all their stuff the same, and they just don't understand what's going on. They need to catch up with the rest of the tech world. I mean, Paul Thurrott thinks that, and this is me, I listen to their podcast, and so this is all them. I'm just kind of relaying, if you will. But he says that, people would have been even more angry. At this point, it's just the lesser of the two evils, basically. And Microsoft did right.
Yeah.
Basically, and I know he's not a fan of Windows 8 either, unless, you're actually using it on a tablet. But, myself personally, I love Windows 8. And that's the thing is I'm a little more tech savvy than most, so I figure it out quicker. But he also said he did I can't remember if it was him or Leo who did a test to see. They took a kid who hadn't messed with the old computers and threw him on this with Windows 8, and he got it right away, and it was easy. He knew exactly what he was doing. Maybe we're just stuck in our old ways and we can't figure out how to do things because it's not the way that we used to do it. What do you guys think?
I like Windows 8.
I love it. I do.
I even went, and now I've got the start button. I don't know if I like the start button because it kind of disables your Windows button. I like the fact of being able to actually use the Windows button for something.
Right. And granted, I did throw it on, I did play with a touchscreen laptop at Walmart the other day, and it's so much easier to use on that. So I can understand, that side of it.
Yeah.
But they also mentioned, maybe they should just have a thing where you can click on it and click the button and say, add the blades, or don't have the blades. So you don't have to use it,
And you're calling the tiles blades? It's out there.
That's what they were calling it for a while. I'm not sure if that's what they call it, now or anything, but that's what they did call it.
Well, I definitely give them kudos. I think Microsoft is trying to move away from everybody saying they're copying Apple, and I think this is a very unique and different way. It's not anything that Apple. It's moving more towards away from that feel of it looks and feels the same way as the Apple OS, and I think it's becoming their own unique thing. If you want it to operate like 7 did, then you have options to be able to make it operate like 7 did. I think if you leave it the same, just leave it in its native way, I like it a lot better. I added the start button I really don't like having the start button on there now that I've been using it without it, and I know how to navigate. I think you're spot on with people are just stuck in their old ways of how things are. You know, Microsoft is trying to make where it's multi-platform and you can do something on your desktop, and then you grab either your phone or your tablet or your laptop, sync everything together, and you can continue your work on if you're commuting on a train or on a bus or on a plane. So I think this is a real smart move.
Yeah, and it does take a little to get used to. It is completely different than the old one. A lot of if you know your different keystrokes, you can flip this stuff pretty easily.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, it's not any harder than this crap Apple is putting out. I mean, why do I have to have a guide to know how to put music on my damn iPad? You know?
I hear you.
I mean, I'm so frustrated with Apple right now, as you all, I'm sure can tell.
Really? Are you? Sure?
I'm ready to trade anything Apple in for Windows.
You know,
I'm done with it.
Apple has its place for people who aren't very tech savvy, and you just plug it in, and if you just follow what the instructions they give you, you never have an issue. I have several people I know who love Apple, and when I complain about it, they just look at me like, "What are you complaining about?" For one, like the open source of Android. I like that it looks like Microsoft is kind of moving a little bit more open source. They don't lock you down. I don't have one of their phones, and I don't use a lot of the marketplace to buy music, so I don't know how easy it is to move data to and from their phones. But with the Zune, I had a Zune, and it seemed as easy as my Android phone. You know, I could open it up in a window like it's a drive and move and delete stuff that I wanted on and off there, no matter what it was. And
right. Yeah, I mean, like, to put music on my Windows phone, all I gotta do is, if I don't already have it, like, watching that particular folder, I'll drag it and drop it in whatever folder I'm looking for, and it automatically updates telling me it's in there, and I just drag from the Zune program, I drag it and just drop it onto my phone, and done. That's it.
That's nice. I've never liked how hard it is to get your music off of Apple, and then if you buy it from the Apple store, you have to do a lot of extra stuff to get it to where you can even put it on any other device.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's just, I can't believe that it's such a popular device. It's ridiculous.
Well, it is
pretty much.
It meets that need for the people who don't want to have to think about anything. They just want to be able to have that device, plug it in. It does, they follow the instructions, and then they go.
I guess.
Some people like that. Some people don't.
Pretty much, you're paying for apps. If you want to buy an app, go buy a $500 iPad or something and get your apps. Personally, I'd rather be able to go on Windows and be able to demo every app I want to buy first and that type of thing. It's Apple's a nightmare all around.
I have not been happy with my iPad either. I think I'm moving with you. I don't know if I'm going to go for an Apple, a Microsoft tablet, but I definitely think I'm going to go away from an iPad.
Well, just go with the RT. I mean, the RT is the same price as the iPad, and granted, it probably won't be till later this year, but they're coming out with Office for the RT as well.
Nice.
And I don't know if you guys have heard, but Office 360 is being the really cool thing that Microsoft is doing is you buy it, and it can go on 5 of your computers.
Wow.
And it can also go on 5 of your tablets as well, separately. That's separate. So I can have 5 tablets that have it on there and 5 computers.
Nice.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible.
Yeah, it really is.
And is 360, it's a subscription base, right?
Yes.
Because my work is thinking about moving towards that, and I think that's great that you're able to buy these licenses like that, and you can get it for a lesser price. It's more affordable for people to be able to get it and use it, since a lot of people use Office. Haven't got to use it yet, but it seems like it's a really good idea. Again, it's that whole being able to go across multi-platforms, and if you need to use the web-based version, you can very easily. If you have it already on your desktop, you can use it.
Also, it's coming out on the iPad.
Really?
Which is a surprise. Here's the thing: is if you keep an eye on their I don't know if you want to call it their books or whatever, but it says that it's slated to come out later this year, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100%, but it's slated to come out then, and it's also saying that the RT version is coming out then. And my opinion is that it's already done for the iPad, and they're not going to put it out until they put out the RT for a while. They'd be stupid to.
I think I'm with you on that one too. Microsoft is real good at marketing, and I think they have whatever
I
platforms.
completely disagree with you on that.
You know, because the reason why I'm saying that though is that they aren't just throwing things out all at once, saying here's all versions of it. They're making you wait. You know, I'm sure they have the Pro Surface out ready, but they wanted to do the RT first, you know.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I just think they're horrible at marketing. I think they aim toward the wrong audience a lot of times.
Well, on that, maybe. But until they went after the people who they felt, they wanted to go for corporations, which they felt probably had the bigger bucks. Now, if they would have went for gamers, we all know that gamers, if they really like something, they're going to throw however much money out at it and get it right off the bat. And I think they just that was a miss that they had, and they probably eventually will start targeting that market.
And that's true, and they're targeting these corporations, you know. But the thing about it is the corporations aren't upgrading. You know, they keep what's working for them. Mm-hmm. And so most of them are still running XP or whatever, you know.
Yes. I know.
So you're targeting you're targeting this demographic that just isn't upgrading. And also, that's another thing Paul Thurrott was saying, is that, you know, everyone's flipping out over the fact that less computers are being sold. Now, the thing about less computers being sold is, since the big, you know, rise is just before the tablets came out. So people are using their computers less and using tablets as well, like, you know, in side by side with their computers. And so, of course, your computer is going to last longer. People just aren't buying computers because their computers aren't dying, you know?
Right.
And so that makes complete sense. I completely agree with him on that.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. We'll see, I suppose. But I think, you know, a certain period of time, other people are going to end up upgrading because their computers are going to need upgrading. I mean, most people aren't going to. A lot of people aren't like me, and they're going to go out and buy a new Windows. They're just going to use what they have.
Yeah. Something else on the technology. Technology was growing too rapid for people to keep up. You would.
Oh yeah.
It went from, if you bought a computer and then a month later it would be out to date, to you buy a computer today. 5 seconds after you hit purchase, they've already gotten something better.
Yeah,
exactly.
You know, and you're just like, really? I just spent all this money, and now they've got something even better than what this is. So I think it's more than just people are using tablets. I think the market got a little oversaturated with what's new. I think some of the hardware companies got a little overeager. I'm not saying that it's to hold back on the innovation, but, you know, maybe not release that new processor right as soon as you get it out. Maybe because you know you're already working on a newer one than what you're getting ready to try to market. Go and wait till the newer one is done and skip a generation or something like that to help the market not die out like it did, because it has died quite a bit.
Yeah, it's leveling out, as I would like to say. And I think, we're going to see a lot of new stuff come out, but I think a lot of people are competing, and a lot of people don't have the money to go out and buy the new stuff, so they're going to try to accessorize what they already have more.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
But look, let's move on to our next section, because I'm not sure we can drag that out a whole lot more.
Inked In is going to be very short, though, so
I think we're going to just skip Inked In for today because of the fact that we really don't have a whole lot. And next week we'll have more. We're all jumping into some comics and stuff, and I think I personally will be trying a new comic or two, a new comic series. So I will let you know how that goes. The one I am currently looking at, the Wheel of Time comics.
Oh, they have comics out for that now, huh?
They have comics for that, yes, which I'm a huge fan of the books, so I'm really looking forward to jumping into these. And I wanted to do it this week, but I had issues with my iPad, which we won't go into that.
What?
So I did not get a chance to read them.
I think Jeff's underlying goal is to get us all to buy a Surface Pro. And a Windows phone.
That's right.
Why does that sound like he is doing that?
I love my Windows phone. I have never owned a better phone in my life, all right? There's nothing subliminal about it. I'm straight up saying go out and buy one.
We're all scared to take our phones around him.
Yeah, you better.
It's gonna break.
I'll be like that guy who did you see that interview about them talking about Windows Phone?
No.
With some host, and the host pulls out he pulls out an iPhone. He's like, "So what you're trying to say?" And the guy he was doing the interview with takes his phone and just throws it across the room. He's like, "I'll replace that with a Windows Phone for you." I was laughing my ass off. That was the funniest thing ever.
Well, if you're willing to replace my phone, then we can talk.
Well,
exactly.
I'll just throw it and let you figure it out yourself. No.
Like, you might want to get that replaced now.
Something wrong with your phone. Let's move into Watched.
Popcorn. Whoa, I really love some popcorn. Oh, let's get this segment started. This is Dracobert, and this is Watched.
All right, first up is Hannibal. So who's checked out Hannibal this week?
I did.
Right? Yeah.
I watched the first episode. It was pretty good. It was different. Wasn't what I was expecting. You follow, the closest thing I could say is a profiler who has the ability to imagine how a crime scene worked out. One of the first scenes you see is this guy going into a crime scene. They don't really explain it, but then you start seeing the crime rewind all the way to right before whoever went in and committed the murder breaks in. So you see this guy break in. He's describing exactly the reason why he shot these people the way they were shot, and then it comes in and you realize he's talking to a police officer about what happened, and then he starts figuring out how, some strange things that he saw. He starts figuring it out and explaining to them why. You don't meet Dr. Lecter until the second half of the show, and you find out that he is some type of psychiatrist who is also going to help profile this killer of these girls. So it's a different story, different take on it. You see in the credits that it's based off of the Red Dragon book.
So it's basically a prequel.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
That is cool.
And it's set in modern times, like now in modern times. Not, I think the prequel, movie, isn't it a little bit old, back like in the 60s or something like that? I haven't read the book. I had barely watched the movie.
wasn't the 60s. I think it was the 80s, wasn't it?
Was it the
I
80s?
want to say the 80s, yeah.
Okay, so it's based in current times.
Okay.
This one.
Interesting.
Awesome. Well, that's cool. Well, I checked out a TV show this week for the first time, and I actually found it to be really entertaining. And it was called The World's Worst Tenants.
Really?
And I'm not normally into these type of TV shows, and I say that every week, but for some reason this one caught my eye. Oh, what it was is actually, I think, like, The Simpsons finished up, and I was just too lazy to get up and get the remote. And so this came on after, and I was like, huh, all right, well, I guess I'll watch this. And turned out it was really funny. Like, there's a guy on there, and what happens is these guys get hired. It's one pretty big military guy, you know, and some, you know, legal guy, and then a woman who get hired to go to these different places and talk to the tenants and figure out if they deserve to still be there, or if the person renting the place out is just kind of the type of person who doesn't deserve to have those tenants, you know?
Yeah.
And so they get there, and no matter what, it almost always turns out that this dude's got to tackle someone.
I know, every
He's got
episode.
to take him down one way or another, and it cracks me up every time. And like the episode yesterday was some guy who he had a bunch of houses or a bunch of apartments next to each other, and there was an elderly lady who she was paying less rent because she's been there for a long time, and she's got emphysema and can't be around smokers. Well, so he put a smoker, which there's supposed to be no smoking in the apartments at all. He put this landlord put a smoker on each side of her, and then put a vent going into her house. And like all this stuff, I can't even believe there are people like this. You
How
know?
did you do that?
I'm like, and basically he's trying to kill this lady, you know? And so this guy, you know, the military guy, he's like, you know what? I'm calling your father. He's the one who owns the place. I'm telling him exactly what you're like. And he takes out his phone. And this guy smacks the phone out of his hand. And I was like, oh, it's on. Somebody's going to get tackled. And sure enough, this guy gets smashed up against the car. And I was laughing. I was like, that was awesome. I mean, this guy even sounds like Steve Austin. You know? He sounds and he looks like Steve Austin. And I was like, what is Steve Austin doing on this TV show? But yeah, I had so much fun watching this show, and I actually like added it to my DVR, so I'm sure you'll hear more about it.
Yeah.
Also, back again is Psych.
Yay!
Who's a fan of Psych?
I have not watched it.
Everyone but Jack in the whole world is
In the
a fan of Psych.
I could be different. I don't have to be the lemming.
Oh, no, you are.
Watch one episode, you'll be hooked.
This show is incredible. Basically, this show... Actually, Tiffany, I will let you tell about the show.
It's basically a young man and his friend. What's his name? Oh, I'm blanking now.
Gus.
Yeah, so it's Sean and Gus, and Sean's father is a police officer, and I guess always wanted him to be a cop and stuff, so I think when he gets older, he's not a police officer, but instead he pretends to be a psychic.
His dad trains him to pay attention to everything.
Trains him to be hyper observant.
That's the word, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he's super, super hyper observant, and he uses that to see things that maybe other people don't see, and pretends to be psychic to solve crimes and mysteries. But
the show is so funny.
It's so funny. The banter between Sean and Gus is my favorite part of the show. They are just incredible comedy team.
I agree. This is like, I mean, I can't imagine there are too many people who have not seen this show yet.
Yeah.
Besides Jack.
But
this show will have you in stitches the whole time, and it's got to be like one of the best comedies on TV.
It is.
And it's been around forever. Like I don't even know how many seasons, but it's been around for a long time.
I think 7. Isn't this the new one's the 7th?
It's got to be. Yeah, I mean it's at least 7. Because I've been watching it for a long time.
Yeah, it's just
season 1.
And it's good, and it's funny, and it's the kind of show that has like those touching, dramatic moments that blend seamlessly, and it doesn't seem like out of place in the show, which I like too. It kind of blends from drama to comedy and everything really well. It's
Yeah,
good.
I agree.
You just
It
need
is.
to watch
It does have 7 seasons, and it started July 7th, 2006.
Oh, okay, so yeah, it's been on for
So
7.
go check it out. Tell us what you think.
No.
Yes,
Do it.
right now.
No. Okay, I will. Quit twisting my arm. That hurt.
What else we got and watched?
I rewatched this movie called Series 7, The Contenders.
Now, that's not the same as Plan 9 from Outer Space, is it?
No. It is not.
Sounds similar.
It is a take on what this director's take on where reality TV could go. So what it is, it's about 6 people who are picked at random from a national lottery and are given a pistol and forced to hunt and kill each other for the cameras. So
Wait, is this a movie?
yeah, this is a movie. But when you watch it, you're just like, it's done kind of, it looks realistic. You know, it's done like a reality show. So these people, what they do is as the commercials are rolling, they kind of, not the commercials, but the credits, the beginning credits, they kind of tell you about each of the participants, and they give you a little bit of background. They also tell you about what they have to do. One of the contestants, which is one of the main characters, is pregnant. She's also returning champion. They, right off the bat, somebody find one of the contestants runs into the other one and kills him right off the bat. And it's not like this is in an arena. This is all open world. So these people are picked. There are letters sent to them saying you're picked. Here's your gun. Here's your package. So you got a gun and stuff in there. Here's the other contestants. You need to find each other, no matter where they are in the world, and kill them. So you have to be the last man standing.
Oh.
And so it doesn't matter. There was a scene when they're in the mall. 3 or 4 of them show up in the mall, and they see each other. They start shootout amongst all these people. There's bystanders filming it. Trying to get autographs from some of the contestants, and
Wait, now, is this a comedy?
it's a dark comedy.
I was going to say, because it's in black comedies and dark humor, spoofs, and satires.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Interesting.
I ran into it back when Blockbuster was big, and you would go to Blockbuster just to wander through to see what movies you wanted to see. I saw this movie, picked it up, and I said, "This looks interesting." So I ended up watching it again this last week, and every time I watch it, it's a great show.
It's got Will Arnett in it as well.
Oh, interesting.
And the way it plays out is you really think that it's a real reality show. It doesn't. Nobody does weird something where nobody misses a line.
Right.
You have an announcer break in for commercials every so often. They will do a backstory, like the main character and another person had a love relation or fell in love prior to the games, and they tell their little story and do a reenactment of what they went through in their life, off of what they think happened, So it's a really good take on reality TV and where it could go.
Now, this is on Watch Instantly on Netflix as well?
Yeah, I just saw that. I was looking at it. I'm like,
It
I have
should
to watch
be
this.
on Netflix, because I remember when I first got Netflix and saw it, I watched it on
it is.
So
It is, yeah.
you guys should put it in your queue.
I'm doing that
it's
right
a Watch
now.
Instantly. I already did it. I already added it. It
Yeah.
sounds like my kind of show
Doing it
or
right
movie
now.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, and I actually have another one that we don't have on the list that I watched this week. It's an old school movie and a terrible, terrible movie, but so great. It's called Dead Alive. Have any of you seen this movie?
Yes, it's yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I love this movie. It's like the goriest movie I ever saw. And it's like so terribly fake that it doesn't even matter. It's just hilarious. Think Army of Darkness, on a gorier level.
Yeah.
Like the part where he picks up the lawnmower and straps it to his chest and starts running into the zombies, and like he's slipping on the blood on the floor and everything.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
I was like, this is one of the funniest movies
That has been so long since I've seen that. It is very funny.
I was happy I got that one from Netflix. I still get the discs every once in a while.
Nice.
So
yeah.
Yep, that one is
I watched one
Go
movie
ahead.
this week, and it's not a new movie, but I got War Games for my birthday. It's called
Ooh, I love that movie.
with Matthew Broderick. Yeah. So
I watched that when I was young.
I know.
Love it. And it's also in Ready Player One, where they...
Yes.
Yes. I love
that is
Matthew Broderick movies.
That is great, and it's funny to see Matthew Broderick that young.
I know. You just go back and watch it, you're like, wow. And Ali Sheedy, I love watching. Speaking of Psych, plays in a couple episodes on Psych. Ali Sheedy. And it's interesting to go back and see her all young.
We were just watching The Mist earlier today.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, like, half the cast in that is in The Walking Dead?
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, like, Dale is in it.
Did not know that.
Carol is in it, the woman with the short hair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Carol.
What is her name? The blonde?
Andrew?
Oh, Laurie Holden?
She's in it?
Yeah, that was Andrea.
Uh-huh.
Jeffrey isn't Jeffrey DeMunn, I think is how you say his name, Dale?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Okay. He's in it. And also, the guy from Being Human is in it as well, the vampire.
Oh, wow.
Which I don't know if you guys have... Do you guys watch Being Human?
I've watched some episodes, and it is good.
Do you guys watch the European one or the American?
I haven't seen the American one. It's been the British.
Yeah,
I watched
them
both, but I'm staying more up to date with the American one. And I actually really like... Well, first off, what's the name of the guy who's the werewolf?
You would ask.
I can't remember. But anyway, I love him as an actor. Even Dylan Dog Dead of Night, which really wasn't a great movie by any means, but he made that movie. That movie was worth watching just because of him in it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so I like a lot of his stuff, and so I usually check it out. But it's worth watching just because of him.
Is it Sam Huntington?
Yes, that is his name, Sam.
Yeah, I love him. He was in Fanboys. I love him in Fanboys.
What?
Yeah. Yes, he plays Eric, like the main guy.
Oh yeah, no, I think you're right.
Yeah, I am right. You're thinking.
Well, I don't deny that. I'll have to look at the box because that's crazy. I never realized that.
No, just say I'm right. Just say it right now.
You are correct.
There we go. Yay!
You better cherish that.
I'm going to listen to that part of the recording
over and over again.
It's going to be on my outgoing intermission.
Upcoming movies or TV shows or whatnot.
Looks like 300's getting a sequel, Rise of an Empire.
How excited are you guys about that?
I like the first 300. I just don't know how they're going to continue that story.
Yeah, because 300 was based on an actual, lightly based on an actual true story.
Right.
So, I don't know exactly how they're going to do this. We'll see.
I did love the style of those films. Of 300, I love the style of the film when it first came out.
Yeah, they weigh heavily on the animated side. Like, everything is digitally done by the looks of it,
Yeah.
But it was very interesting how they did it.
It was so different from anything that was really out at that time.
Yeah.
I thought,
yeah.
It was very bird back then.
I don't know. I'll check it out once. And that's the thing with the first one is I could watch it once or twice, and then I was like, well, I'm kind of bored with it.
Yeah.
So we'll see if this one is the same way. Jack, you got some more information on another show?
Yeah, I was reading on JoeBlow.com that Charlie Hunnam from Sons of Anarchy is being looked at possibly to play the Flash.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, is this Flash a TV show or Flash who is going to be in the JLA?
In the JLA. And it kind of... The article didn't go much into it, but it might even be a Flash movie. I'm not 100% on that, but I definitely know that he was being looked at to play Flash in the JLA movie.
Make another TV show. How great would that be?
Yeah.
I know there's very few people who agree with me, but look at how Green Arrow is doing right now, or Arrow, not Green Arrow.
Well, do you remember the Flash TV show? I thought it was pretty good. It just didn't.
I enjoyed it. I mean, granted, I was a kid and I had very little taste whatsoever, but I enjoyed it. I also enjoyed Knight Rider, Airwolf, and those. And those are horrible shows now that I go back and watch them. It's like, how did I ever watch this?
But they were good for their time.
Oh, they were incredible. I mean, have you guys seen Arrow?
No, I haven't.
I haven't started watching it yet, no.
Check this show out, because this show is so good. And it's like, it's getting more and more incredible. Like, you're actually, you're getting, actual villains coming into the play, such as Deadshot is in it now.
Nice.
And it's really incredible. They're doing so well. We also want to discuss, we heard rumors a little while back that Gremlins was being remade, or a sequel or a prequel or something along those lines. It's very vague what they're talking about.
Yes, it is very vague. I checked on, again, JoeBlow.com, and the only thing I could find on it really that was up to date is that right now it's being held up by Spielberg. They didn't explain why it was being held up by Spielberg that I saw.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, and this is one of those where I'm like, I don't know if I really want this done. I mean, don't get me wrong, I want another Gremlins movie, but I don't know if I want another Gremlins movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I want to redo it, but if it's not broken, don't fix it kind of thing.
Right. I mean, Gremlins is one of those movies that are very near and dear to my heart as a creature feature fan.
Maybe continue the story, but change. Don't remake. Don't have a reboot. Just have another story about the Gremlins.
Exactly. Please don't remake it. Just continuation.
Yes.
And maybe make it even a little bit more. I always thought that those Gremlins were pretty evil little monsters, but they didn't do a whole lot of, I don't know, I guess killing.
Yeah, they did a lot of killing if you watch, especially number 2, if you watch number 2.
Yeah.
Was it number 2? Where, they kill all the cops and everything.
I think that's number 2, yeah.
I mean, it was they do a lot of killing, but...
A lot of murdering.
With the way that TV shows and movies and stuff are going, I can totally see them doing this as a dark movie.
Yeah, I'd like to see it a lot more dark than the killing that they did, but it was still more comedy-oriented.
Yeah, and we've also heard rumors that Short Circuit is being remade or whatever, same type story. We're not sure exactly how far that goes, but we can't find any information now about it. They talked about this a couple of years ago. What do you think about that?
That's another one that I'm kind of like, it would be cool, but I don't know. I don't know if I want to see it redone.
Yeah.
I love the old ones so much.
I would love to see Johnny 5 in a more updated look.
Yeah.
But it's Johnny 5,
I know.
Maybe
you can't mess with that.
Maybe spin it off on a different thing. Maybe it could be a Short Circuit movie, but not just like with Gremlins. Don't reboot it. Just tell a different story. Another robot. Something.
Well, here's the downside. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Really, one of the characters who made those movies was that Indian guy.
Yes.
I don't even know his name, but he was the coolest character. I felt for that character, through the movies. And would they really bring him over to the new one?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think.
Yeah.
I think that would be a stretch. But we also coming out Monday, I believe, is the new Defiance show. What do you guys think of this? Have you guys seen any previews or anything?
I haven't seen anything on it.
No.
No?
Not until you said something about it that I even know about it.
I'm kind of excited about this. It really kind of has one of those cheesy alien TV show feels to it, such as, I want to say, if you were to take, I know I'm going to get butchered for this, but Farscape.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of haters of Farscape.
I love
Farscape.
Farscape.
Not a good comparison.
I loved it.
I loved Farscape. I was mad when they took it off.
I really think it's got a Farscape / Terra Nova feel to it.
Oh.
That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Just by the previews. I mean, obviously I haven't seen it yet, but that's kind of what I feel like. Although, and we'll get into this once we get to the zone, but I started playing the game Defiance, and we'll talk about that later. But it has a different feel altogether, and I'm not sure if they're supposed to be incorporated with each other a little bit. But are you guys gonna check this out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I'd
definitely
definitely like to see it.
Yeah, I already got it set to record, so I'm gonna watch it and hope it's awesome.
And say again when it's premiere?
Premieres Monday, which is the 15th.
Nice.
April 15th. So, yeah, put it on your list and check it out and see and let us know what you think. See what you think and tell us, hey, this TV show is terrible, or this TV show is good, or they could do this better, or whatever. Just let us know. And let's move into the zone.
The zone.
First up on the zone is game news, which we've got some good stuff this time. Personally, one of my personal favorites, and you guys have heard me talk about it in the past, is Road Rash, one of my favorite games of all time. Still to this day on my top list of top five games. They're on Kickstarter to come out with a game called Road to Redemption, which is a successor to Road Rash. And really a big deal. If you look at this, these graphics are incredible. They've added guns in it now. You still got the swords, the chains, and everything. You still kick cars into other oncoming vehicles. Have you guys watched this video at all?
Yeah, I watched the video.
What do you think?
I think it looks pretty cool. I never
does.
played Road Rash, but this looks like something I would check out for sure.
Oh, that's another thing. Speaking of Road Rash, port that over to some tablets. That should take nothing at all to do. And I would buy it in a heartbeat and play it forever.
Endeavor.
So, is this something you guys are gonna back, or you're gonna check out when it comes out, or?
I'll check it out.
Yeah, I might be willing to check it out.
I think I'm gonna put some dollars down on it.
Yeah. You said earlier you'd spend $100 to play this game.
If this is a full version AAA game, I would pay $100 to play this game. That's just because that's my. I mean, like I said, this is like my Oregon Trail of games. This is my big game.
Well, your Oregon Trail, huh?
This will be my game of the year. If this game came out this year, this might knock down Tomb Raider for me.
Wow.
I'm
That's saying
scared.
a lot.
I'm scared you might be
It's saying
setting
a lot.
yourself up for disappointment.
I most likely am.
It's gonna come out and you're gonna be like, "What? Not what
This
I
was
dreamed
nothing what I was hoping for.
Most likely I am, but still, I'm going to brag it up until it happens. So. Also coming out is State of Decay for XBLA. XBL, whatever it is. Anyway, for the Xbox Arcade.
Come on, Xbox guy. You should know what it is.
Hey, I just finally got my Xbox Live going again, alright?
Wow.
It's been a while. There's a lot of games I haven't played in a while. But, nonetheless, this game looks awesome. It is a zombie survival game done by a company called Undead Labs, surprisingly. But
Great
the
name.
graphics on it are actually really good looking. I mean, I can't believe this is going to be an Xbox Arcade game.
Yeah, a lot of the.
Have you guys looked at this at all?
No, I have not.
It's also saying PC, which means probably we'll get it for Windows 8.
Then that means I might try it out.
Yeah, which, that might be a better way to go. But basically they're saying, State of Decay will let you put your personal survival plans to the test. And how they're going to do that, I'm not sure. But it's a zombie apocalypse scenario, of course. You gotta really pretty much pay attention to food, water, shelter, and ammo.
Yeah.
Kind of get the feel like it's gonna be Wars. What
War
was
Z.
it? War Z or DayZ.
Yeah, either one of
Either
those.
of those.
That's exactly what you just way you're describing it. It sounded like War Z, and it was like
Hopefully much better, though.
hopefully.
It doesn't seem like it's quite as dark looking. It's kind of it's got a different feel to it. And it says it's an evolving world. It's a sandbox world. Real lifetime dynamically generating content based on your actions, the choices you make, and the ever-increasing zombie threat.
That sounds interesting, that it's evolving.
You can also set up a fortified safe haven for you and other survivors you've rescued. Form raiding parties to gather resources and create supply chains. Use materials you've gathered to develop your community as you see fit. But be careful, resources will deplete as you pillage areas and zombies are attracted to noise and activity. So, I kind of get the feeling it's, I want to say, Minecraft with incredible graphics.
That sounds kind of cool, though.
You know? I kind of get that. Maybe a little bit. Kind of get that feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of looking forward to it. It might be one I pick up.
That
You
sounds
do
kinda
like
cool.
zombie games, though, so
I love zombie games. Yep. True story.
Yes.
Jack, you also have something on the new Shadowrun.
yes, this is another Kickstarter that ended up doing very well. It should be coming out in June. What I read is that anybody who is a backer, they will get the game before everybody else and be able to play, and they'll get a whole bunch of extras. It's on pre-order right now. To order it, I think I will be pre-ordering that. I love the Shadowrun game from my Sega Genesis. I didn't like the Shadowrun game that came out on Windows so much. I played that one once, didn't like it. So hopefully this one's better. It looks like it's a top-down perspective. I haven't seen a whole lot, haven't been able to see a lot of gameplay on it, but anything Shadowrun, I'll try at least once. But now I have a question for everybody, and this is a topic that's coming up quite a bit. What is your take on the violence in video games? Is it good or bad?
This is one of those things that's ridiculous, you know?
Mm-hmm.
People like to use it as an excuse for, so-and-so is playing a bad video game, and that's the reason they did this. What about the 30,000 other people who didn't go out and kill someone and played the exact same game?
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
It's an excuse for being a terrible parent and not paying attention to what your kids are up to. You know?
Right.
If you don't want them playing those games, don't buy those games for them. You know, take a little responsibility for your own actions.
Yeah. My kid growing up, when he started acting out or repeating stuff off of games, he would have to stop playing it. It wouldn't even be a question. The game would be taken away, and he wouldn't be able to see it till he was appropriate age. So, I don't think that the violence in video games is any show that's the reason why kids are going out and doing what they're doing. I just think parents are using video games as babysitters. They're not paying attention to how their kids are. If you've got a kid that's depressed, the video game isn't going to make them go do anything any different. That's just how they're thinking. I think video games are violent kind of help stem actual violence, because you're playing out anything that you want to do on a computer screen, and then when you walk away, you're probably a lot less likely to go out and do something, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Well, it's like they use the excuse for the Aurora shooting. Well, he played video games. Well, if you read on in the report, it says he played Dance Dance Central at the mall. Really? That's going to be your go-to.
Yeah.
Dance
Wow.
Dance Revolution.
So we need to get rid of Dance Dance Revolution. That's what.
Take it
Yeah.
off the shelves, man.
That causes kids to go and become violent.
It's so ridiculous.
Well, that's the thing.
That's one of
Yeah.
those topics that pisses me off.
Yeah, me too.
It's like
What?
because nobody takes responsibility for anything anymore.
What about this? I wish I had read up on which senator it is, but there is definitely a senator right now making a big deal about violence in video games and that it's becoming too much now. And he's making a huge stink.
Oh, they haven't since the beginning of time. It's like I said, it's people making excuses for being terrible at what they do.
Yeah. Most like
And
me,
not understanding.
I like to think that I'm a fairly nice person. And when I play video games and I'm given a choice between like good and evil, I am so evil. I like in Fable, I slaughtered towns and like rented the houses back out to the people when they, like respawned. Like I'm evil, and playing those games doesn't make me want to hurt anyone.
I play really violent games, and I haven't killed anyone yet.
I think a lot of it too is just like parents need to stop buying Call of Duty and stuff for their 5-year-olds. Like,
Yeah.
why?
Yeah, that goes back to taking responsibility.
That drives me nuts
if
when you're in a game store.
If you don't want to be a parent, then don't be one.
Yeah.
It's simple as that.
And if your kid can't handle the game, you should say, I'm sorry, but you can't play this game until you're of age. Call of Duty's a good one. That's what my kid, he got himself in trouble because he was cussing and getting aggressive. So we took Call of Duty away, and he likes first-person shooters, so he had to play the ones that were rated for teens. We all know that those really aren't as good, but that's what he had to play. And as he got older, he kind of moved more into the back, not so much Call of Duty, but like Battlefield or something. Got the rated M, and he was able to handle it. He was a little more mature. He understood what he did wrong, and so we let him try it. We saw that he wasn't acting like he was, and we said, okay, go ahead. I'm not saying that the video games he was playing though caused him to be violent. I'm just saying that he was too immature to understand what he was doing, and he was at an age where all kids become aggressive, and
that's where you stepped in and was a parent and did your job.
Exactly.
What other people don't want to do, and so they're trying to make an excuse for it, basically.
Yeah. Yes, I have noticed that there has been a lot more rated M games coming out, and I have also noticed that I've liked those games a lot better than I've liked the other games. It's just what it is. If there's whether it's more sexual content or more violence or it's gory or whatever, I tend to I like it. It just goes back to the Japanese, the Hong Kong action movies or the Hong Kong horror movies. They're all real gory and stuff, but I also grasp that it's all fake. It's just funny to see that type of stuff.
Yeah, and when I've been in GameStop when a parent was in there with their kid, and the employees always ask every time. They're like, "Are you okay with him having this game?" Or "Are you okay with her having this game?" Or whoever, And the parents are always like, "Yeah, that's fine."
Yes.
So
I've seen that too. The parents don't even pay attention. They're annoyed that they're even there bringing their kids there, and it's great that you see now. I can remember when I've gone into game stores at too young of an age to buy something, and they wouldn't even ask for ID or anything. They just let you buy it. I think that the gaming industry as a whole has taken a little bit of the responsibility on and made sure that the stores that sell them ask. Even Walmart, those people in the electronics department, if you're not old enough or you don't look old enough to buy them, they're asking for IDs, and you have to have your parent. I've seen them tell kids you have to have your parent come and buy this if they're okay with you getting this, and the kid gets upset and walks off. But that's all those things are happening. So it's just ridiculous to say that video games are causing it. Movies, it was the same thing with movies years ago. Same thing with books. It's just whatever
Music
popular media. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, I agree. They need to stop making excuses for themselves.
Put the blame on the person that is doing it, not other things because somebody doesn't want to take the responsibility.
Right. All right. now that rant is done. I could go all day on that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Jack, you played a game called Warframe.
Warframe, yes,
Warframe.
yes.
There you go.
And I get that messed up all the time too. So Warframe is on Steam, and it's a free to play. You are a Warframe, and
what is a Warframe?
it looks like you're in a battle suit. You don't. It's either a battle suit or it is a robot. One of the two. It didn't really go into big details, but they just call them Warframe. So I'm assuming it's a suit that somebody has put on. So you have three different types. You have an all-around type that can fight, do long distance, do melee. You have one that is really good at melee, and you have another one that's really good at a type of. It looks like magic, but obviously it's a machine recreating. It's a tech way of recreating something that looks like magic, and I forget the name of what they call that. So you pick one of those basically classes, and then it's a hack and slash, basically what it is. It's an over-the-shoulder. You go to these different planets that have space stations, and you clear them out of the enemy, and you have to specifically, if there's somebody you have to go rescue, then you have to rescue them and keep them alive until the end, or you just have to go kill X amount of the enemies. I played it.
What these kind of look like is they remind me of the ninja from Metal Gear Solid, actually. Or am I looking at the wrong one?
No, you're right. They look like that. They also look like a
like
Guyver.
Exoskeletons.
They also look like Guyver. When I first saw it,
yep.
I was
Absolutely.
like, hey, is this a game for Guy? Based off of Guyver? But
especially some of the helmets are very Guyver-like.
But it also is. I also want to say it's probably you can buy other suits. So you have, when you first start out, you can pick from 3 suits for free. And as you play the game, you collect objects and stuff that you could update your weapons or your Warframe suit. You also...
So would you say this is kind of like an MMO type game?
It is something you can play online with people. When I got on it, I had 4 people in the party. I don't remember how many you can actually have. Yes and no. It is an MMO in the sense that there's a lot of people playing, but you don't have to have other people in your party. You can solo it. You can do a private party with your friends, or you can just be online, and as you are playing your game, people will just pop into it. It was fun, but I could see it getting old kind of quick.
Actually, hold up. What game does this screenshot makes me really think about the Dreamcast game called Slave Zero. Very much so. And it's the way it plays by the looks of it. It's over the shoulder, following like your robot as you're fighting and stuff. Even like the drops look a lot like it. That's interesting. I might have to check that out because I really like that game.
It was fun, and I think that where it will hold its where it could hold your attention more is if you're able to get a group of your friends together and you go through and you're just clearing out these space stations, or playing it, soloing it was getting kind of old. When I was with the group of people, it seemed a little funner. Even though I didn't know them, I had a lot more fun with them playing. Even though I didn't know how to heal somebody, and I thought I was hitting the heal button, and all I did was just hack them to death. And I was like, why is he attacking me? I'm healing him.
Oh.
The guy's probably like, why are you killing me?
Yeah.
So help me.
You can pay to get more of the in-game currency, so you can get better weapons. You can buy different warframes that look different. You do get to customize your warframe and all the weapons with the color. You can change the color of your weapon.
Is it just the color then? Or
yeah. When you get whatever warframe you pick, that's what you look. You don't get to like change the helmet at all. You'll just get to change the color of what your suit.
And does new gear change what your character looks like as well?
It just changes what you're carrying. Your weapons will change, but your suit doesn't. Your suit stays the same through the whole thing, unless, like I said, you use in-game currency. You can build
Buy
stuff
something
as you
else.
play, but you could also buy it, and you can buy different warframes if you want a different look.
Alrighty. Sounds cool. I might have to check
And
it out.
it's a free to play, so I would say try it out. You know, there was a lot of people playing it when I was playing it last week.
Yeah, it's worth a try, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's free, especially.
Yeah.
Another game I decided to check out this week, and I just went out and bought it, is Defiance the Game, which we mentioned earlier. If you haven't played it, I don't know how the best way to explain this game is. The way I explained it to you, Jack and Tiffany, is I said it was basically Firefly mixed with Borderlands. And it, I mean, my character looks like Nathan Fillion almost from Firefly. He's got the brown leather jacket on and everything, you know, and the holsters, and it's actually really kind of cool. And I fought back and forth with, do I want to buy this for PC or for 360? Finally, I decided, you know, I'm going to get it for 360. So I bought it and brought it home, and the way it plays, I'm glad I got it for 360. I can see it kind of being a little more difficult on a PC.
Unless you have a gamepad.
Yeah, which I did consider that too, because I do have a wired controller I can always plug in and play with that way. But I don't know, I was a little skeptical, so I decided to get it for that instead. And it's fun. It's a lot of fun. I'm having a good time. I can see how it would be a much more fun if you had people you know playing. So if you play this game, add me, and we'll team up.
Is it couch co-op too?
No, it's complete MMO style, and so you know you basically you got to play with other people online, which I can kind of see how that would be difficult to play that game as couch co-op, just because being able to see far enough ahead with the full screen,
right,
is something kind of needed. But I mean, this game is hard, and I may be playing wrong, and I may just be terrible at it, but I've been caught like where if I don't have anyone to team up with, I'm caught in a certain mission where I keep dying, and I have to, you know, revive and come back and try it again. And definitely, though, check this game out. And also what they're saying is it's supposed to coincide with the TV show. So events that happen in the TV show are stuff that will happen in the game as well.
That'll be interesting.
And so I'm curious how that's going to work. But you have vehicles and stuff as mounts, and you actually get the vehicle really early in the game. Like I'm talking like your first or second mission.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and so you start out with a four-wheeler, which if you pre-ordered or anything, I believe you get like a car of some kind, which I've seen a lot of people with the cars. And I think I'm actually supposed to get a car. I'm not sure how to get it though. But anyway, it's a lot of fun. It's like you dive out of your vehicle and you can dive it right into a shooting pose and everything. You can switch from sniper gun. There are no classes because you can choose which type of weapon you want. As you unlock stuff, you get new gear, which changes what you look like. I actually just unlocked some sort of like exoskeleton-looking armor, which is really cool. And I got like a saw I unlocked where the ammo is infused with lightning, and so yeah, it's added damage and stuff as well.
Right.
But I would definitely suggest checking this game out. It's a lot of fun. And like I said, this game is also out for PC, Xbox, and PS3. So like I said, if you have me, or if you have this game, add me on Xbox 360. That's Mysterio Hunter with a 0 rather than an O. And we'll team up.
Yeah, I might look at renting this or something just at least to check it out. Because it sounds like a lot of fun.
Well, I don't think you'd be able to do that because...
Can you not do that?
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
probably
not
not
sure how
it's
that
an MMO. Cause
that's
yeah,
good.
it's an MMO.
Dang it.
when DC Online came out, you couldn't rent it and you couldn't sell it.
I'm sad.
'Cause I think it's a account bound or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm in touch by
I also got the closed beta for Marvel Heroes, which I can't say a whole lot about it yet, but I do want to say if try to get into this game, check it out. This is no secret; it is going to be a free-to-play game. It looks like it's going to be done like you can unlock your own characters and everything with. I'm not sure if it's going to be money or points, but I won't go into that. Has a lot of big name characters. We'll see what they do with it. I won't. I'll keep you updated with what I can. We'll put it that way.
Cool.
Okay.
But go online, check out some screenshots, check out the video for it. I know there are some videos. I'm not sure how many videos there are of actual gameplay, but I'm sure YouTube has a bunch.
Yeah.
Also, last week we kind of mentioned Injustice: Gods Among Us. There's also an iOS version of it. Where it's on your iPad.
Yeah, and it's I looked into that a little bit. It's a card game, basically.
No,
it's not.
No, nope.
I thought the one that I saw was a card game.
Now, how you get new characters is they'll say you unlock this card, and that'll unlock the actual characters. But the graphics on this are actually really nice for an iPad game, and you can sit there and fight each other and keep doing different fights. And as you go, you unlock. Basically, you have. I want to say your attacks are just basically clicking the screen, and you'll keep attacking, and then you swipe to knock them down. But as you're fighting and you go through all the different battles, you unlock. Basically, you have one super ability. But as you go, you can unlock an extension of that. Almost, I want to say it reminds me of Marvel vs. Capcom, where you're fighting, and you get to the one section of your ability, and then you can get to the second section, and then the third section.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's the way this is. So after a certain period of time, you can unlock other stuff, and you can level up their different abilities and that type of thing. So you're hitting harder. But it's a free game to download, so definitely check it out. It's pretty fun for a time waster. But Jack, you've also been playing a game?
Yeah, on Windows 8, it's a game in their app store called Adera. It's kind of reminiscent of Myst. There's a little bit more environmental movement. It's not such a static picture, but it's a story of this girl who gets a letter from her long dead grandfather saying that she had to decode it, saying that he is stuck in some time rift and that he needs help. And so they're doing it out in episodes. I played the first episode because it was free, and the graphics are pretty good. The voice acting's not too bad, but you're pretty much just clicking the screen and finding objects and solving. It's a puzzle game.
I've actually played this game too. Now that I look at it, I've played the first episode as well.
And I didn't think it was too bad. I don't know if the other episodes were $4.99. I don't know if I would pay that much for each episode.
They're pretty long though, aren't they?
This one, the first one wasn't, but the first one might not have been just to get you drawn in. So I don't know.
Maybe I just couldn't figure it out, and it took me longer.
No, literally in like an hour and a half, I had beat the first episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I thought it was going to take, I didn't think I would be done with it. I started it this morning when I woke up thinking that after playing it, and I saw you guys at the con, I could talk to you guys about, hey, this is the game, and I'm still not. But I beat it, like I said, in an hour and a half, and I was like, really? Okay, $5 is not worth it. This game would be worth $5 if each episode I could beat it that fast.
Right.
And that's fine. That's playing it on normal. I didn't put it on easy. I played it on normal, and I found all of the hidden objects that you're supposed to find. So
it's strange that they have the different levels.
Yeah, you can play it easy,
of difficulty.
Yeah, easy, normal, and hard. And I guess I should have put it on hard because maybe it might have been a little bit, on normal, you have spots where they want you to do, and it will sparkle a little bit. If you put it on hard, it doesn't sparkle at all. So
gotcha. Huh. All right.
All right. Yeah.
Interesting.
So if you like those type of games, play it. The other episodes could be longer. I have a feeling that the first episode was just enough to get somebody drawn into it, so that they'd want to pay the $4.99. Now, if it was cheaper than $4.99, I probably would have went on. Like if it was $1.99, I probably would have paid for the second one today and tried it out.
Yeah, and maybe we can find some information on how long those other ones are.
Yeah, if they're longer, then I would say yes. If it would take me longer than just a day of sitting down and playing it, I would probably say that the $5 was worth it.
Another one coming out is called WildStar. Have you guys heard anything about this game?
Yes, watched the trailer for it. How about you, Tiffany?
Yeah, I watched the trailer that you had sent to us earlier.
This game looks incredible, and it's very cartoony looking, cartoon / 3D.
Yeah.
But it looks like a quippy type game done by NCSoft, MMO style, of course. But you can actually like go into it and build your own like massive bases, your own house and everything, and go out and fight with your team and all this other stuff. And like I would suggest everyone go and check out the video for this at least. It does have a sign up for beta. I've of course already signed up for it.
Of course.
Of course.
As everyone on the podcast likes to laugh that I sign up for every beta test I can, which is probably true.
You're a guinea
But yeah,
pig.
this game looks so much fun. Like I can't even like. This is going to be one of my games I'm excited about playing.
And I think I'd be excited to play it too. It looked really fun, especially if it has all the humor that the trailer had in it.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
And you can. It looks like you can build your own ship and everything as well. I'm not sure how much that is, but
you know what it reminds me of? It does remind me a little bit of Ratchet and Clank, but not because of the people. It was just the animation, the style of it, and the humor they have in it.
Yeah, that I could see that. Yeah. I'm excited though. I can't wait to play this game. Another thing they released this week, and this has had me in stitches all week because such an incredible video, is the Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon.
Oh yes, I almost bought it as soon as I saw it. I saw it on Wednesday and watched the trailer, and I almost bought it. I just was a little reserved. I was like, maybe I'm just the one seeing it.
Well, this is one of those April Fool's ones that they showed the video for April Fool's Day, and everyone was like, oh, that'd be so cool if it was actually real, and then they released it. It was like, what? This game, it's very 80s, like done like an old 80s game. Oh, it's so cool looking. And once you actually get into the gameplay actually doesn't even look bad, you know?
Yeah. It looked pretty good
And-
for
Yeah, it does.
an arcade game.
Now, where can people find this, Jack?
I found it on Steam.
On Steam?
Yeah.
So if you know if this is actually on XBLA or PSN, let us know. We'll try to check it out tonight or, through the week and let you know on the next podcast whether it's there or not.
Yeah.
And pick it up, man. Pick it up because it looks incredible.
I think that I will be picking up. It's only $14.99 on Steam.
That's dirt cheap.
And-
I mean, I don't know how long this game is, but that's cheap.
And you don't need Far Cry 3 to play it. It's not
Right.
a skin
It's a
for it. It's
Complete
standalone.
separate game.
Yeah.
Well, let's go on to cause talk because we're taking quite a bit on these other areas.
It's time for cause talk.
Talk. So, like we said earlier, we were all at the Colorado Springs Comic and Toy Convention today.
Even though it might have been at different times. At least
Yeah. Sadly, due to scheduling and other things, we weren't all there at the same time.
And we weren't very good about tweeting where we were, so we apologize if you were there looking for us. We got a chance to talk to one or two fans, but that's about it.
Yeah.
Hopefully next time will be a little bit better.
Hey, I
We'll
tried
get a little
to,
bit more organized.
and I took some pictures. If you go and visit Anorak's OASIS tweet, there
Absolutely.
are some pictures of their I just have to say the 501st Legion's booth was outstanding. They had a weapons rack, they had Chewbacca, they had stormtroopers.
They're always very well done.
Oh yeah, they're amazing.
Yes.
But definitely, add us on Twitter so you can see other people's cosplay there. And, maybe show off yours and brag about it a little bit.
Yeah.
Tiffany, did you dress up?
I did dress up. I was a Diablo 3 demon hunter.
And how did you do? Apparently they had some sort of contest?
Yeah, they had a little contest, a costume contest that I didn't know about going in there. I had no idea, and I was just walking around in my costume, and one of the convention runners, I don't know, kept asking me if I was in the costume contest. I was like, no, I don't think so, no, maybe not today. And he's like, come on, do it. So I went and signed up, and I won 4th place. So,
yay, good job, Tiffany.
Congratulations.
It was actually a really, really cool costume, so
yeah.
That's another thing.
And I didn't get to see it, darn it.
I know.
Well, you can see it on, I believe you can see it on our Twitter, right? You have pictures posted, right?
I'm not sure if I have posted them yet, but yeah.
Get to it.
Hey, did you guys stand in front of the G.I. Joe card and take a picture? I had my wife do it. I was like, I've got to have you as a G.I. Joe action figure, hon.
No, I didn't. I didn't have any pictures taken of me.
I did hear that this convention has doubled in size this year, and that they're hoping that next year it will do the same thing. And that
That's pretty awesome.
If it does, they'll need a new place because that place was pretty packed.
It was pretty packed.
It was very hot and a ton of people in there, yeah.
Yeah, Con Funk was on high
Yeah.
as soon as we got up there.
I contributed to that this year. I feel really bad. I was sweating like crazy in my costume.
But they had, I loved all the booths. The toys they had there took me back to childhood. I had several of those, and I wish I never got rid of them now that I was seeing.
There were a lot of stuff I had there, and I had at one point, and I saw them there, and they were marked way up. I was like, are you kidding me?
Exactly.
And my husband was like, oh, I used to have that when I was a kid. Oh, I gave that to Goodwill.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I do that?
I love seeing the hard to find G.I. Joe action figures that I've, Hooded Cobra Commander. They had one from back in 1986, I believe. I saw some of the older He-Man action figures, some of the old Transformer action figures. If everybody remembers, I believe it's Starfire, the one that came when they made the toy. It looked like a Robotech fighter.
Mm.
You remember I think it's Starfire. It was one of the few Autobot airplanes. And then they also had a lot of the Star Wars. A lot of the Star Wars action figures were there.
And Transformers. I saw a lot of Transformers.
And Walking Dead. Do you know, I saw they had G.I. Joes there that were zombie G.I. Joes.
I did not see that.
I was like, when did they release these?
Are you sure they weren't modded by the...
No, I mean, it was still in package and everything.
Wow.
I did not see this, and I walked through there several times. And
there were only like 2 of them there.
I didn't see those.
I was like, I can't believe that. I never knew they did that.
And let me guess, they wanted quite a pretty penny for those too.
I didn't look. I didn't buy anything. I didn't go in to buy stuff.
I wanted to find more Godzilla stuff. The Godzilla stuff that I saw there wasn't so, but I did see one Godzilla toy that I did have growing up. It was the one with the Godzilla with the fist that you could shoot off, and he had a lever on the back and the tongue would come out that looked like fire.
That's cool.
Did you guys see, I know Jeff did, but did you see the Cobra cosplayers, Jack?
No, there was no Cobra cosplayer. It was. I saw Harley Quinn. I saw the Stormtroopers and stuff, but there was like several Harley Quinns. There was who's the guy from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with the hockey mask?
Casey
Casey
Jones.
Jones.
Yeah, Casey Jones. That was it. I would love to have seen them because I want to make a Cobra Commander cosplay.
They were fantastic.
Well, check our Twitter because there's pictures of them there.
Yeah,
There
they
is.
were so
Okay.
good.
Yep. Let's move on to our top 5.
All right.
The top 5 favorite anime characters. That's what we had for this week.
And as usual, I'll be going first.
All right, Tiffany,
Who's first?
what is your Anorak top 5?
So my number 1 is Hakuoro from Utawari Rumono.
I can't believe you said that.
You could actually say that.
This is going to be one of those podcasts. I'm going to be struggling.
But yeah,
She's been like standing in front of the mirror saying this
I
name.
have like like one syllable at a time.
I don't even know what is this show because I've never heard of it.
It was not a very long show, but it was a show where a guy who has a mask on that he can't take off kind of wakes up in this place and he has no idea who he is or where he is and ends up meeting these 2 girls that kind of take him in and take care of him, and it's just kind of the story of that. I don't want to give it too much away because you should really watch
Is
it.
there an actual English name? Because that sounds very familiar to something I've watched before.
Not that I've ever heard before or know of, no. But it's like 2 girls. All the people there have like tails, like fox tails and stuff. So.
No, it doesn't look like it does.
And
yeah, I don't think it has another name. Good one though.
Interesting.
Yeah, you should watch it. It's a short one. It's not.
I'm still watching the last one you suggested.
Which one? Oh, sort of. Yeah.
I'm addicted to that show now. I love that show.
It's so good. It's so hard to watch though, being subtitled because you can't.
Yeah, I gotta give it my full attention.
Yeah, I'm very much a watch something while I'm doing other things person.
Right.
So it's so hard.
Which if it wasn't that way, I'd be done by now.
Yeah, I would be too.
And there's actually a game out for this anime too.
Really?
It says PC, PS2, and PSP.
Did not know that. All right.
Interesting.
Yeah. So my number 2 is Calcifer from Howl's Moving Castle, which is
And which one is this? Who is this?
Calcifer is if you've seen this movie, it's a Hayao Miyazaki movie. He's the little flame that sits in the hearth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's voiced by Billy Crystal.
I gotta say he's my favorite.
Yeah, he is
That
so
movie
funny,
as well.
and I love him. I love him as a character in that movie.
Have you seen this anime, Jack?
I thought I have, but no, I haven't.
I actually just recently saw it. It's still fresh in my mind.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. And I think that's probably one of my favorite Hayao Miyazaki movies. I think Spirited Away is probably my favorite, but this one's number 2. And then number 3, I have Gaara from Naruto. I don't know if either of you watch Naruto.
I do. I'm trying to remember which one Gaara is.
And I have to, and I can't remember him.
He's the one that wears the gourd full of sand on his back.
Oh, okay.
You know, like the dark eyes, and he has love written on his forehead. And
Yep, sort of the villain.
yeah, sort of the villain. Kind of turns out.
I'm not far enough to know whether he's not a villain anymore.
Oh, I'm not gonna say anything.
But he is a badass with the whole like being able to put up sand walls and everything.
Yeah.
I think his character is really well done.
And he develops really well throughout the series, and then into Naruto Shippuden, which actually I'm on now. Just kind of
I'm like so far behind in that show.
There's a lot of episodes of that show.
There is.
I mean,
It's like Bleach to me. I can't get caught up on Bleach either.
it is. It's just so long. And
what is your number 4?
number 4 is Hatsuharu Soma from Fruits Basket. And
I haven't seen this anime either.
yeah, so this was the manga I was actually talking about when we did our top 5 comics, but they didn't finish the story in anime version, but they did. I don't even know how many episodes. 26 episodes maybe. So he's my favorite actually because he's my zodiac sign. He is the ox and I'm the ox, so I liked him. Kind of like he was my character in the show, so
It's cool. I'm gonna have to check out that show too because you've mentioned it like 3 times now.
Same here.
Yeah. Well, the manga's good. It's kind of sad in the anime because I never finished it, so you kind of watch it and you're like, eh.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no plans to ever finish it, so it's one of those that you're like,
Oh, that
but,
sucks.
yeah, if you watch the show and the book really, they follow each other really well, so you can kind of read the books and then watch the show, and you'll know how it ends. But
Right.
very sad they never finished it. And then number 5, which I think a lot of people can agree with, is Vash the Stampede from Trigun.
Yes.
Yes.
I love
Bash is a good character.
I love everything about him.
I think he's made it on every one of our lists.
In some ways.
He is in my honorable mention.
Yeah. Great character.
Yeah, he's a good one.
And the thing about it is the thing I liked about this character is that he's not serious all the time. In fact, he's rarely serious.
Right.
But when he is serious, he has something good to say.
Yeah, exactly. He was just a well-rounded character, and I liked him a lot.
Yeah. What do you got for honorable mention? Actually, go back through and say your top 5 again.
You just want to hear me say the first one again, don't you? See if I can do it twice.
All you gotta do is say the names. You don't have to say the name of the anime they're in.
Okay. Number 1 was Hakuoro. Number 2 is Calcifer. Number 3 was Gara. 4 was Hatsuharu Soma. And 5 was Vash the Stampede.
All right. And what is your honorable mentions?
Honorable mentions. One of them was Nemu Kurosuchi from Bleach.
I'm not sure which one that is.
She was and I can't remember the name of it actually. She was the lieutenant of the weird guy, the science captain guy.
I recognize her.
Yeah, and I can't remember his name now. So she was the one that was like his creation that he made her.
Oh, I recognize her. But that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah. And the next one was Tsubaki Nakatsukasa. Nakatsukasa. I got that. From Soul Eater. And she is the soul weapon of, I'm blanking. Blackstar? Oh, no, what is his name? I'm blanking now.
I haven't seen this one, so I can't help you.
I'm blanking. I'm sure the other will know who I'm talking about, but it's Soul Eater character. Another one was L from Death Note.
There's one I can agree with.
Yeah, I love L.
Death
I don't know what it is,
Note's
but
good.
like the weirder characters are in anime, the more I like them. I don't know if I identify with them.
He's such a strange character.
He was
too.
very strange.
But it didn't stop me from thinking he was like incredible.
Yeah, he's just
And like the funny thing is, through the whole beginning, you almost feel like he's the villain. Like the way they do that whole anime is incredible.
Mm-hmm.
he's so dark compared to the rest of the characters, even though he's not evil.
Yeah.
I mean, they made him. It's like the first time you see a good guy being kind of dark and creepy and secretive at first. I don't know. It was interesting. Another one was Cone from Bleach, which he's the little doll.
Oh
Little
yeah,
tiger.
yeah. Oh, that's a good one. I didn't think of that one.
I love him. The first time we went to NDK, that was the souvenir I bought was a little Cone doll.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That's a good one.
Yeah. And then Kirito from Sword Art Online. Which is
I also have that one.
the main character. And then I also really like another one was Balsa from Moribito. I don't know if you guys.
Yes, I know. She's the
Yeah, I
main
love her.
character, right? And she the
Yes.
the
I've only
player.
seen like one episode of this. So.
Yeah.
and that was a good series. Oh, I could.
Yeah.
I just on a whim watched it, and then I was hooked.
It was the same thing. I was just going through Netflix. I was like, I wonder what this is about, and just watched the first one. I was like, oh, I love this.
I forgot all about her too.
Yeah.
All right, Jack, what do you got on your list?
My number 1 is Mutako Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. Ghost in the Shell was one of the very first anime that I watched, and I fell in love with its kind of a cyberpunk type of world, and she's the main character, head of, see if I remember this right, head of Section 9's task force, looking for the Puppet Master. I have a shirt with her on it. I've got resin models. I liked her character, even on the newer versions of the Ghost in the Shells, was it Second Gig and all that. They keep true to how she is. You know, she's mostly cyborg and just great. And number 2 is Action Bastard. If you've watched any of the Shin-Chan shows on Adult Swim, he is the cartoon that Shin-Chan is in love with, and he wants everything.
I don't know what it is about that show, but I love that show.
I do too.
It's such a terrible show, but it's still great to watch.
And Action Bastard is a horrible role model because there's so many innuendos on having sex with his obviously underage partner. I just think he's just so ridiculous. I love all the little, this Action Bastard rod, and he always holds it around his crotch area. So, this window there is he's holding his stuff in front of everybody on TV, or if he has an Action Bastard ray, it's coming off of his belt buckle. It's just so over the top weird. And every time his sidekick comes in, she always has some strange saying about how he spanked her last night and don't spank her again in front of everybody. It's just a weird. It's just so weird and out there that, and then it's this little kid's favorite show, and anything Action Bastard he has to have. My number 3 is Lena Inverse from the Slayer series.
Oh, okay. I didn't know who the name. I recognized the name. I didn't know where it was from, but now I know.
She is the main
I recognize it.
She is a thief / warrior / wizard extraordinaire. It's just hilarious how much power she wields, and I love it every time somebody pisses her off in the show, because she'll fireball them, or if it's she'll do her most powerful magic, which is a dragon slave, which can destroy whole towns or kingdoms. And that's just off of just somebody calling her. She's a short girl. The running joke through the whole series is that she looks like a boy. She's flat-chested and not cute at all. And so every time somebody says something about her flat chest or whatever, she's ready to fire a fireball at them, whether it's in her party or it's a band of bandits or it's the mayor of the town. Or she'll do a dragon slave, which will just blow the whole town up, just because she felt like it. Every time some character hears her name, they all freak out about, please don't blow us up. And, she's just a great character. The show's fun to watch. My number 4 is Riley Vincent from Gunsmith Cats. She is the lead character. Her and Min May run a gun shop, and they are also bounty hunters. I love the car she drives. I never can remember what it is. It's I think it's a '76 Shelby Cobra. She's a car girl. She's a gun girl. A lot of bullets fly in the anime. In the manga, again, a lot of bullets fly. It's a good story on her and what goes on. Number 5 is Parn from Record of Lotus Wars. This was another series that's kind of set in medieval times, and it's a great story about a group of friends growing up through diversity of big evils coming through, and it's great to see the relationships, how they did it in there. I have so many honorable mentions. I had to cut it down. I only will do half of the ones that I have listed here. So Vash the Stampede is in my honorable mentions.
And for good reason.
Yeah, just like everybody else, great character. I have Vampire Hunter D. Love that character. He was probably the third anime I've watched, and every time I watch that anime with him in it, I love it. Alucard from Hellsing. I just recently, like last year, watched that series, and he's a great character too. I love these all-powerful characters that just kind of act nonchalant and don't act like they can really do much of anything unless somebody really pushes their buttons. I have Rick Hunter from the Robotech series. He's always been. I loved his mech that he used. I can't remember the name of it right now, but loved his character. And then Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. That was my absolute first anime I watched.
That's the first one I saw too.
In Japanese. I thought I knew what the story was until I heard it in English. Totally way off. But either way, the story I made up was good, and the story when I heard it finally translated was good. So those are 5 out of my list. There's several more, but I don't want to hog up the whole time. I'll go back over my top 5. Mutako Kusanagi, Action Bastard. Number 3 is Lena Inverse. Number 4, Riley Vincent. And number 5, Parn.
Good deal. And I will try to give you the proper names, but we'll see how this turns out. My number 1 is Takumi Fujiwara from Initial D, which I don't know if any of you have seen this, but it's basically a street racing anime. It's about some kid who his dad makes him drive through the pass every day with a glass of water and not spill a drop to deliver. I want to say it was like sushi or something, or tofu. And as he does, he notices other people racing, and they keep trying to race him, and he just blows them away. And nobody knows who he is because these windows are all tinted black and everything. And turns out he's famous, and he didn't even realize it.
That's great.
And it's such a great anime, and I used to have all of these until one of my buddies stole all the DVDs on me. But
such a nice guy.
Is one of my favorite animes of all time. My number 2 is D from Vampire Hunter D, which this is my favorite anime of all time. This is such a D is such a I don't even know how to explain him. He's such a dark, ominous character, and nobody really knows anything about him. And as you find through the movies, he's actually a pretty big deal.
Yeah, he is.
My number 3 is Vash the Stampede, of course, from Trigun,
Nice.
which we've gone over this character twice now. So if you don't know him, then you're not paying much attention.
You need to go watch this anime. Trigun is the best. One of the best.
I almost put in Wolfwood as well because his character is incredible too, and the two of them, Vash and Wolfwood together, is just such a great story.
Yeah, it is.
My number 4 is Spike Spiegel from Cowboy Bebop.
It's a good one. I love Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I love Spike. It's really sad about the movie that the live action movie they're supposed to be coming out with. Apparently they got what's his name playing Spike from The Matrix.
Oh, Keanu Reeves?
They got Keanu Reeves playing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's kind of a disappointment. There's Spike is such a badass that
there's no way he can play that character. My number 5 is Mugen from Samurai Champloo.
Another good one.
Which is a samurai who, it's kind of a weird anime because it's done with a lot of like hip hop style music and stuff. Mm-hmm. But he gets tied in with this girl, and he promises to help her find this guy who smells like dandelions, I believe it was.
Yeah, and wasn't he the one wearing glasses, or was he the other one?
No, he's the cocky.
Yeah, okay.
Basically looks like Vash
Yeah.
in a lot of ways.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And he was a total badass too. So
Yeah, I like both of those characters are. I mean, I don't think this didn't go on longer than one season, did it?
I don't
think
so, but it seemed like when it was done, they found who they were looking for. And I don't remember it having like anything left undone. The last episodes I watched.
I see. I don't have the last DVD yet, so I haven't seen it.
So a lot of the animes from Japan were just one shots. They're like miniseries.
Right.
And
yeah.
It'd be nice if there was more American shows that did that. You didn't have to have several seasons. You just do one shot, make it really good.
Right. So that's my top 5. It's Takumi Fujiwara, D, Vash, Spike Spiegel, and Mugen.
Great top 5.
My honorable mentions are Light Yagami from Death Note, which is pretty much the polar opposite,
the opposite of L.
Tiffany's L.
Yeah, he's the guy who you thought was the good guy until.
Yeah, and he's such a great character.
He is
that whole series I thought was incredible. I mean, that whole series would probably be my top 5 series.
Have you seen the live action movies?
Oh, I haven't seen all of them. I think there's 3, and I've seen 2 of them.
Yeah, I think there's 3. Yeah, those are good. If people haven't seen those either,
those are incredible, actually.
They did a good job.
I can't believe how well they did with the Shinigami.
I know I was thinking, I was like, man, they're gonna look so cheesy.
Yeah, and they were really well done. I couldn't believe it.
I have yet to see those.
Really? Oh, you need to. They're on Netflix.
Yeah.
They're so worth checking out.
And I do want to see them. Yes.
This next one I am gonna struggle with name. Kyoto Hirano from High School of the Dead, and he was kind of the heavy-set kid who was picked on all the time in school, and then now all of a sudden they all need him because he knows everything about guns.
Yes, I love that character. Every time he started shooting.
love that character. Like, I love the fact that they all had to depend on him after messing with him the whole time. Just great character. Oh man, this next one, I'm in trouble. Akichi Onizuka from Great Teacher Onizuka. And I don't know if any of you have seen this anime.
I haven't seen that one.
This is one I watched when I was younger, and I thought it was a great anime. Now that I watch it now, it's really actually a screwed up anime. It's about this teacher who's always trying to hook up with the students, and he used to be like in some bike game or gang or something, and there are like different things where he has to like stick up for different students and stuff. And he actually never does. As far as I know, he never actually does hook up with any of them, but he's just kind of like hits on everyone. It was just a funny anime. My next one is Karito from Sword Art Online.
Yay.
And that's the main character in Sword Art Online, which is a great character. I kind of like how he kind of pretends to be nobody, but he's better than what people think,
Yeah.
So kind of, he pretends to be, in the beginning, that first episode, he pretends to be nobody, and he's kind of paying attention and everything, and then he starts lying and pretending he's the baddest person in the entire game.
Yeah.
Which is great. That's such a great anime. I'm glad Tiffany told me to check it out.
Yeah, very good. I like that one.
And my last one is Ein from Cowboy Bebop.
The dog.
The dog with the computer chip in his head. Because I had to choose this one because I got a corgi, and I was going to name him Ein, but it was a she, so I didn't. So, yep, I love that dog. So funny to him hopping around, especially when he eats the shrooms and he gets stoned and he just starts bouncing around. I was laughing so hard. But I think with having a non-speaking character, they did a really good job. And that is all I have.
Great list, everybody.
Yeah, that's a really
Good
all
list,
good.
yeah. And what do we have for a list for next week? And silence, because we didn't talk about this.
Oh, dear. I knew we forgot something.
That's what we're going to do next week. Crickets.
Crickets.
Your favorite cricket.
Wow,
Your favorite.
totally put some crickets in there.
Jiminy. I think Jiminy.
All right, well, let's think about it here. What should we go with? Let's go with games again. So, we did RPGs last time.
Uh-huh.
Let's go with first-person shooters. What is your top 5 first-person shooters?
I already know what's going to be on your list.
What's that?
I already know what's going to be on yours and what's not going to be on yours.
Exactly.
You're going to have honorable hates.
Honorable hates.
Wow. I'm going to be like Tiffany on this one, and I hate you guys for picking that, because that's not a genre that I'm heavy on.
No, I don't think...
In any way, shape, or form.
I'm not really
you
either.
think back, you got a lot of like the old school ones like Doom and Wolfenstein. Oh my goodness, Wolfenstein bring back some memories.
Yeah. Dude, I remember when Dune first popped up. I had that on the Commodore 64.
Yep.
How about GoldenEye? Did you guys ever
I actually
play
got
GoldenEye?
grounded for a very long time for playing that game.
Oh, I never thought that first-person shooters would ever get any further than that.
All right, so you heard it, folks. Let's hear yours as well. We don't have any fan lists this week.
Darn it.
I know. We have some booing in there or something. But let's hear your list again. Add us to Facebook and Twitter. Check us out on podomatic.com. And from there, I think that's all we have. So
Thanks, everyone, and friend us on everything.
On everything.
Love it.
Oh, and also, we'd like to get some comments and some votes on iTunes, because the more you guys vote for us, the more higher on the list they put us, and the more listeners we get, and the longer we can be around. So, love to hear from you guys. Love to know whether we're doing a good job, terrible job.
Even if
Give us a reason to keep going.
Yeah, even if you have to tell us how bad we are. Let's hear
Maybe
something.
sugarcoat it a little. I don't know. So they hate us.
The rule is, if you give us a bad vote, you gotta tell us why, so we know what to fix.
Exactly.
In depth.
I'm all right with finding out what we need to fix or can do better. So that's all we got.
Thanks, everybody.
And,
Talk to everybody
we'll see you
next week.
Next week.
Bye.